Hello, welcome to Whisky Review number 14 with me, Andy, from the Affordable Whisky Reviews blog. Hope you're all well. You might be wondering why I'm wearing a pair of sunglasses indoors. I don't really have a decent answer for you, apart from the fact that it's summer. It's summer outside. It's raining. That means it's summer in England. So, yeah, it's not very sunny. Anyway, I've got something that will brighten up the mood. It's a very, very accessible single malt. It's a 12-year-old, and it is this, the anCnoc 12. Now, myself and others, in fact the majority of people who have tasted it, have actually described it as a very summery, very light, very floral malt. So also, you know, a summer malt basically. And I couldn't agree with that more. Really, it really is very, very, very good, and very summery, very floral, very light-hearted. So, let's get a bit of this in the glass for you. It's a Highland whisky, so it's a Highland single malt, produced in Aberdeenshire. It is chill filtered at 40%, so it's not been kept at cask strength. But you know, I bought this for £28, so for that sort of price range, you're not going to expect it to be cask strength. It is going to be chill filtered. There is going to be colouring added and things like that. So, I mean, I've just realised I look a bit like Magnum PI's cousin with these on. Not quite Magnum PI himself. I don't have a moustache anymore. Anyway, on to this one. Just going to put a drop of water in there. Doesn't need a full teaspoon or so. In fact, you might even prefer to drink this neat due to the fact that it is 40%. Just let it open up for a sec. Okay, so I've let this one open up for a while. It doesn't take as much as a higher percentage whisky, a higher strength. Oh, instantly. Very sweet, a heavy citrus hint, so limes and lemons. Very malty, extremely malty. In some ways it's very similar to the Bruichladdich Laddie 10. In its malt and its citrus and freshness, but on a different level. So we've got hints of apple in here. You might have heard that as the coppers going past. It happens a lot around here. So very, very tart apple, almost Granny Smith, or maybe even an apple tart itself with custard. Because you've got the sweetness and a tiny hint of vanilla in there, not much, just a very slight hint. There's also sort of a dryness in here, it is a smoky dryness, but it's not the same sort of smoke that you get from a Talisker or an Ardbeg or any of the Islay whiskies. It's just a very sort of, imagine the end of a bonfire, and you've just got that little hint of the burnt wood still coming from the middle. And it is like that. It's not a peat smoke, it's a very dry, very thirst quenching smoke, as it were. Also getting honeysuckle and orange blossom. So, on the palate now. It's a very light malt. It's very, very light and delicate on the tongue. It almost plays with your tongue a bit. It's not quite as heavy or as oily as other higher strength malts or other Speysides. The actual taste. Again, very sweet. You've got the hints of that smoke coming through as well, sort of instantly, that go alongside it. It's very odd, but very pleasant at the same time. As well, we've got apple crumble. It's almost similar to the apple tart that I mentioned before. Spiced pears. I think there's another freshness in there. I think it's lemongrass that's actually in there. It is sort of a citrusy hint, but it's not sort of the lemon or lime. It is more of a lemongrass, you know, very refreshing. You can tell when it's in cooking. It's, you know, very clean, very crisp. So, for the finish, strong barley again. Strong barley. And there's also an extremely strong oakiness to it as well, but it's very well balanced with that barley. So they also almost complement each other. So at first you think, wow, that's very a lot of barley there, a lot of oak, but it goes really, they both go really well alongside each other. And with that, you've got the constant sweet syrupiness that you've sort of got underlying all the way through from nose to palate to finish. It really is very pleasant. It's very fresh. It's not heavy. It's not the sort of thing that you drink on a winter's evening indoors behind the fire, when it's absolutely peeing it down and you can hear the rain pattering on the windows. It's not one of these. This is the sort of whiskey that you can drink on a hot day, maybe over ice. Personally, I don't drink it over ice, but you might normally have a G&T, a lager, vodka and tonic, maybe even a Pimm's to some people on a hot summer's day. But this, to be honest, would go just as well. It's really nice, very refreshing. So there's a lot of things going for this one. It's very affordable at £28 for a 12-year-old, which is probably one of the best bang for buck single malts that you can actually buy. To be honest, it is one of those. It's really quite impressive. Just a word as to the actual distillers themselves. They actually changed the name to anCnoc a few years ago. It was previously known as Knocdo or Knocdo, but what's a bit of pronunciation between friends. Just to make sure that they weren't actually going to get confused with a very similarly named distiller in the name of Knocando, or Knocando. Once again, a bit of pronunciation, who cares, let's be honest. So overall 40%, so it's chill filtered, but it's £28, 12-year-old, very summery, very floral, very light. It's a lot more summery in here with this than it is out there. Very cloudy, very drab. And I think for this one I'm going to give it an 87 out of 100. So that's 87 out of 100 for this one. So that was whiskey review number 14. I'll be back with number 15. I'm not going to tell you what I did yet, because I don't know, I'm not too sure myself which one I'm actually going to do. But once again, thanks for coming along, thanks for listening, and thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed the blog. Cheers.